Right, I want to move on to the Startup Awards. Yesterday, our judges spent a very hard morning selecting two great new companies to present. And you guys now have to imagine you're multimillionaires about to put a couple of million into a fantastic company to make yourselves even richer. So firstly, can I invite Bisley to come up and do the first presentation? We're going to try and keep it on time. Ron, up you come. And welcome Ron to the stage. Thank you.
Good morning. I hope everyone had a good night in Vegas and celebrate Diwali. My name is Ron Shah. I'm the founder and CEO of Bisley. We're a next generation meetings and events platform. Before I get into Bisley, a little background. 3 years ago, I was in my office, middle of the summer in New York, and this water pipe burst open and flooded my conference room. I had no place to meet, so I went through the painful process of trying to figure out which hotels had which meeting spaces, restaurant private dining rooms, and all of the painful back and forth with email tag, phone tag, contracts, payment forms. There had to be a better way. As we kept moving along and learning about this market, what we found very quickly was that corporate small meetings and events are exploding. With the rise of workforce mobility, our teams are just working remotely and on the go more than ever. As a result of that, our offices are shrinking, so we have less square footage per employee. It's dropped by over 100% in the last decade, and we are just having the need to get together face-to-face more often than ever. Small meetings and events are now the fastest growing segment in corporate travel. It's a $100 billion spend category just in the US, and it's growing over 20% per year. The problem that we're here to solve as Bisley is that companies don't have an effective way to manage their small meetings. So what that means is people across the company are signing contracts they shouldn't sign, they're not using the negotiated rates, they're not using the priority vendors, and the companies have no way to get their arms around this spend, so it's a big mess. This problem of small meetings spreads across the entire organization. So you have procurement and CFOs that are worried about legal risks that are happening because people are signing contracts that they don't know about. There are spend management concerns. Then you have corporate meeting and travel managers that have done a lot of hard work to negotiate deals and come up with preferred hotels that no one's using. You have sales, marketing, and HR folks that do a great job with digital marketing but need to have more and more events to convert customers. And then you have all these admins that are wasting so much time with this process. Really excited to introduce Bisley. We're a next generation meeting and events platform. What we do is three things, and we try to really focus on doing these three things really well. The first thing is robust self-service experience. So like, as easy as it is to search for a hotel room or a flight, we want to bring that to the meetings and events market. Get all the content at your fingertips. You don't have to call venues and go back and forth just to find out what Ballroom A looks like. On top of that, we add in TMC, so business travel agency style support. So you have a concierge, human support that gets you through. Meetings can be complex. You've got a lot on the line. You might have an executive or important people you want to impress. And we bundle all this around enterprise compliance. So all of your rules, your legal, your team management, and spend concerns are all managed right within the platform. The market is huge. In the US alone, small meetings, which we define as under 100 people, or for many companies, they define it as under $20,000 in spend. It's a $140 billion spend category in the US. 90% of that market is in hotels and restaurants. And if you just take large companies that have strategic meeting programs, these are structured programs where they want visibility and management, that's an $80 billion market. Huge market with nothing servicing it well today. Why now? You need a solution like this today because enterprises, Fortune 500 companies with strategic meeting programs recognize the problem. I'm not going to companies saying, hey, you got this problem with small meetings. They know they have the problem and they're actively looking for solutions and coming up a bit short with current offers in the market. The surrounding industry, so whether it's business travel or sourcing networks, they lack the tools to effectively manage this. They also lack an economic model that makes sense because it's been traditionally built around sleeping room commissions. Finally, you have GDS. You have a lack of a great GDS for meeting and event space. So if you look at the GDS, you might get back a grid that lays out what rooms and capacities are in there, but you have no clue what the rooms look like. You don't know what amenities are. You don't know if the rooms have windows or not. So the critical information you need to make a decision is missing on the GDS. And finally, hotels. With Airbnb and other threats on the hotel industry, they are looking to do more work and better work with corporate groups. I'm going to give you a quick sneak peek into the product. So it's a search experience that's just like very similar to Google. We use unstructured data search. So you can just type in, I need a board meeting in New York, a client dinner in Chicago, I need a projector in Atlanta. You get back a beautiful search experience with every hotel and restaurant private dining room across the country. So if you wanted to today do a private dinner in Columbus, Ohio, it's literally impossible to figure out which restaurants have this space. It's not on OpenTable or Yelp. It's literally the first time that this has been put together. When you want to look at content, you can actually see we've built thousands of listings. So we have 5,500 hotels and restaurants today, and you can actually see what every single meeting space looks like, what amenities are in every room, and really we've built this content from the ground up. When you want to book, if you want to book something instantly, we have thousands of rooms where you can just pick the room, add your F&B, food and beverage, your AV, put in your card, and check out. If you want to do a more complex event with guest rooms and other features, you can just chat. And our concierge helps you out to do a complex event. You might need a disco ball. It might have some vegan food that you have to serve. So all those complexities can be arranged for. And you can actually pay for a custom order and contract it without ever leaving the chat. So it's a pretty powerful custom booking engine. For the enterprise, you can manage your team. You can set up your compliance, so your spend limits. You can set up all your preferred venues with your negotiated rates. And you actually get all the data back. So this data around small meeting spend is so invisible for large companies, and now you can actually get your arms around it. What we're trying to do for the industry at large is really three big things. As I mentioned earlier, commissions traditionally have been only paid on sleeping rooms. So in the industry, you have your IATA number, you have your sleeping room commission. You never traditionally could get paid on food and beverage and AV and other categories. We're changing that, and we're trying to create a commissions clearinghouse so that the industry at large can participate in this huge opportunity. We're creating a content GDS, so tomorrow if you want to add a meetings tab onto your booking platform, you can easily have awesome content and power a whole new segment of the market. And then finally, we're creating a marketplace. So if you're a tour operator, a ground transport, you can plug and play and serve corporate groups. Our market strategy, we're focused 100% on Fortune 500 companies. We are really making great strides in just direct sales through conferences. We are also partnered with sourcing agencies. We have 8 large accounts today. Those 8 accounts will do roughly $90 million in minimum volume next year. Our revenue model is simple. We got 3 big streams of revenue here. There are SaaS fees for the enterprise. There are service charges for the concierge piece. And then there's transaction fees from the suppliers, which flow through to as an affiliate model to the industry at large. Competition. This is a huge market. This has been done. There are a lot of companies out there where you can go and find space. Where we are different and where we're really focused is we're the only platform that stayed really true to small meetings for the enterprise. And that's where a lot of other folks have shifted to consumer. I'm going to sell solutions to hotels. We really are focused on the enterprise small meetings market. Our team, I was previously one of the members of the early team at MakeMyTrip.com, building India's first hotel booking site. I went on to do venture capital, investing in tech companies. My partner Nancy is a co-founder. She used to run Executive Travel magazine, so she's built this network of hundreds of freelance writers and contributors to help us build that content. Our sales lead was at Iron Mountain from $3 million to $3 billion in sales, and our tech team is from Priceline and JetSetter. Our product roadmap is to really keep it simple. We're going to really take a leadership position in the small meetings market. The future is to drive value to the customer. Every user should be able to get bundled offers at the lowest possible prices for groups. It's a missing opportunity today to bundle in all this awesome stuff to make sure these meetings go really, really well. And then the future is to add in more integrations, direct links, and really just our goal is to create the most employee centric booking platform on the planet. We use things that we don't like when we're employees. We have to use really sites that are kind of inferior to the consumer experience. You have to like go through all these hoops and hurdles for approvals. We want to make that seamless, beautiful, and easy. And that's what we're all about. Thank you so much for your time.
My name's Charles Cadbury. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about Dazzle. Now, we've created Dazzle to help travel companies communicate better with their customers and to help their customers communicate better with travel companies. We've done this by creating a platform based on Messenger and voice, which we've built out for hotels. Now, the story to date, we've been backed by Lola Tech, which you probably know as an enterprise travel software business. We were doing some R&D into the future of the interface and conversation, and we saw these new Amazon devices come out, and we thought, well, how can we best purpose them to give maximum benefit to the market? So we thought that we could put them in hotel rooms and allow guests to get more of what they wanted from the hotels. We were immediately picked up by Marriott and won an accelerator, and Marriott took us under their wing and told us everything that they knew about running hotels and helped us shape the product. We were piloted in Marriott County Hall, which is in the centre of London, for 2 months in December and 16 and January 17. We then spent some time hardening the product, and we've been going to market since July this year, onboarding several other hotel groups. But if we take a step back and look at why we need to do this, why we need a new form of communication. So it used to be relatively easy to get in front of your customers. You knew the routes you needed to take and the communication channels that you needed to employ to get your message across to your customers. And then this whole digital wave came along, and the whole market got disintermediated. It was easy to kind of create a website, and it was harder to retain that direct communication channel with your customer. And that even became a problem for the companies that disintermediated the marketplace. And that's principally because of websites. Websites are very much a graphical user interface. They are a picture. And a picture can only be so much to so many people, right? So that when you go onto your screen, you have a look at an image, and that image is trying to be all things to all men. It's trying to answer every single question that you might come across. And there's been massive advances in user interface design and kind of user experience, but is that really getting the cut-through that you need? So we've developed this wonderful platform, this conversational platform, which is kind of interface agnostic. We don't mind what kind of chatbots we use. We don't mind what kind of voice interface we use. But we can provision the services, the experience you're trying to deliver to your customer to help answer the questions that they're really trying to ask. We can tell our Insta travelers here that they can indeed take the dog on the flight. They weren't able to get that through the website. And what we see here is kind of the difference between a conversational interface and a web-based interface, a graphical user interface, is that a picture may be able to tell 1,000 words, but a conversation can immediately give you the answer. So let me walk you through how this looks from a hotel perspective. So you arrive at the hotel, and while your passport's being photographed, you pull out your mobile phone. We've used Facebook Messenger because there's 1.3 billion daily active users. You scan the codes, and you're immediately able to ask questions. You can ask things like, where's the pool? And that immediately comes back to you. You've got this concierge which is helping you already. You can then find out things that you need to do on your business trip. You can find out, where can I print, and that comes back to you immediately. Then you go out to your room. And in your room, you find one of these devices and an explanation sheet telling you exactly how to use it. You're inspired to say things like, Alexa, tell Dazzle I'm here.
Welcome to the London Marriott County Hall. Your room is equipped with the new Amazon Echo Dot, featuring Dazzle, a voice-activated assistant. It can help by forwarding your requests to hotel staff and answering your questions. When you are ready, say, Alexa, open Dazzle.
So I know how to use this now, and I can use this to answer questions I might otherwise have found in the guest directory. Alexa, open Dazzle.
London Marriott Hotel County Hall. How may I assist?
How do I use the Wi-Fi?
To connect to the internet, look for the wireless network called Marriott_guest. and connect to it. You will be prompted with a Marriott page, asking you to enter your room information in order to connect. Was that what you were looking for?
Yes.
Excellent. Is there something else I can assist with?
Can you send me a toothbrush?
I have requested a dental kit be delivered to your room. Is there something else I can assist you with?
No.
Thank you. Goodbye.
So I've like been able to kind of answer questions on the fly that I would otherwise have to go to the guest book or guest directory or use the phone for, and that's automated that for the hotel. Now, I'm in the bar and I want to know what to do this evening. I can then ask the chatbot, which is still with me, what I might want to do. So can I go to the theatre? It gives me recommendations and a way to purchase that, giving incremental revenue opportunities to the hotel. I've then watched the show, it was great, and I couldn't find a taxi. So I can see, really kind of push this and see how far this can go. So I've asked if this can pick me up. I need to share my location. It orders me an Uber and tells me that's going to be charged back through my hotel account. So this is all great. So what's this deliver to the hotel? You can really see kind of in real time what people are asking for, where, which allows you to optimize the guest experience and do that on a one-to-one basis rather than just for the whole hotel. We've built this platform out. We've got some good traction with hotels, and we're building out into other industries. So we've recently won a couple of contracts in the UK for train operators, which allows them to have cut through and deliver this accessibility directly to their customers. And we're also engaging airline brands. And what this delivers is a view, kind of a single customer view. So you can see exactly what that customer is asking for. You can bring a human into this service delivery so that you can deliver an augmented experience exactly for that customer. You understand exactly what they want. You can then aggregate all this data so you can see what channels people are using to engage with your brand to allow you a better service delivery. What we're seeing is that using this channel, which is a better communication channel because it delivers exactly what the customer is asking for, we're getting more engagement and people are actually saying thank you, which is kind of humanizing the service. So our vision, and we've heard a lot about this morning from IBM, from Microsoft, is to be able to deliver a one-to-one communication channel to each guest, to each customer, so that you can deliver very highly targeted marketing and a fantastic service delivery. I'm looking at why now. You know, it's been really useful to have the speakers this morning with kind of Microsoft and IBM telling us exactly that this is their vision for the future. Google a couple of weeks ago put their AI front and center of the whole suite of products. Google say that at the moment 20% of their searches are done via voice and expect that to raise to 50% by 2020. So now is very much the time to do this. And what we're trying to do is to help you deliver a dazzlingly clear communication channel between travel brands and their customers. Thank you.
Okay, we're about to go into the voting process. Please get your mobile phones ready. But before we do, I would like to invite the sponsor for these awards. Tim Henschel, the CEO of Hotel Planner, has been supporting this for a number of years, and I think we've discovered some amazing companies. So Tim's going to take you through the voting process and introduce a few topics.
Hello. So I think you'll all agree that those two finalists were amazing. This started out with hundreds of companies that applied. We had 11 finalists yesterday that went up against a panel of judges. And the two that you just saw were the best out of that bunch. So you're looking at some of the most cutting edge companies that are solving real problems in our space. I'd also like to thank Travelport that supported these awards with us this year, and also Brand New Matter that did the content. I think you would agree that the structure of the content around these companies for the presentation was excellent as well. So now we want to get to the real exciting part, which is live voting to decide who the winner and the runner-up is. So I think the instructions for that is going to be popping up on the screen anytime now. That's all right. We could just do awkward silence for a while. Yes. All right. Now it gets started. I thought it was kind of interesting that Dazzle got Amazon Alexa to have an English accent. I thought that was pretty nice. Get a local touch there. A lot of people like the group space. I agree with you people. Group space is very, very exciting. This is why they pay me the big bucks, color commentary. I can keep doing this all day long. Thank you, thank you. A couple laughs, I like that. Gives me a reason to get up in the morning. Come on, now it's time to get the Russians involved in this. Come on, here they come. Oh, political jokes. Ooh, love those, a little edgy. Kept it light though, I kept it light. Wow. All right, Tim. I guess I'm gonna have the deciding vote on this. Is that how this works? I have to recuse myself. I honestly, I couldn't. Oh, somebody just had the deciding vote. Why don't we give that to the count of 5 seconds? Oh. All right, let's start with the countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2. I swear, this is not for your entertainment. I didn't do this. We're gonna start this one more time. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, it's Dazzle. From the come from behind victory, it's Dazzle. All right.